Hey guys, what's up? It's Finch here. Today we're going to be discussing a very interesting topic, and that is team preview. A lot of you guys are asking me, as a more experienced player, what I think of at team preview. And I'm going to use this video to break down 5 separate battles from the World Cup of Pokemon. This one between Riku and Ivigara, this one between CBU and Lax, this one between TDK and Sharo, and this one between Tony Flygon and Serene Grace. These battles I picked completely at random, so while I've watched most battles from the World Cup Pokemon, I'm not 100% familiar with all of them, and I did not rewatch them prior. So these are just fresh games, 5, picked them completely at random, and we're going to go through what I think of team preview of each one, and as a bit of a bonus content, just to see if I'm going to be correct or if I'm going to make an ass out of myself. We're also going to go ahead and look at all the sets afterwards. We're going to go ahead and, once we finish the team preview for each one, we're going to skip to the end and see what I got right, what I got wrong, and maybe reflect on how to improve next time. Because it's another point that's worth noting here is that it's always best to reflect and figure out ways to improve. I've been playing this game since 2011, and I find myself improving, even if it's just incremental, marginal improvements each and every time I play. And therefore, it's important that for you newer players, even if you find yourself plateauing at, say, 14, 15, 1600 on the ladder, keep going, because I promise you guys you'll hit that 15, 16, 1700 and so on and so forth in the future. Now, with that said, I do think there are some things that I want to lay out first and foremost. These are games for the World Cup Pokemon, so sometimes people use teams that maybe rely a bit too much on specific text or specific pieces of information that are geared towards the opponent, so maybe there is some room for variance or room for error here. For example, maybe I'm going to predict someone to bring more of a standard variant of team when they come with a risk, or maybe I'll predict someone who's going to be a bit more risky when they don't. And I'm definitely not expecting myself to get every single set, every single team right, but having a hypothesis that you can make kind of inferences in the game goes a long way. And in addition to that, sometimes things you can nail down. Say you know one piece of information early on in the game, and then you could use that plus information that you gained at team preview to really map out their entire team and how they're going to play the game. And that gives you a huge step ahead in the long haul. Because of that, you need to keep in mind that as a player, any and all information is your advantage. Be it a replay of your opponent playing game with this team previously, if you're playing on the ladder, although that sometimes can be changed sets over time, or some more concrete evidence, such as, say, judging off of how your opponent plays with one Pokemon, telling that they don't want to use another Pokemon in a certain scenario, so therefore you could imply what the set is. Or, looking strictly at team preview, judging by, say, the fact that they only have one Stealth Rocker on a team, you can imply that a certain Pokemon clicks Stealth Rock, and then that also means that, okay, if that Pokemon, say, Excadrill, is only Stealth Rocker on a team, that's not applying to either of these teams, just in general, then all of a sudden you're looking at it and okay, if it's Stealth Rock Drill, then it's less likely to be Rapid Spin, so maybe they're going to be, say, Defog on another Pokemon, like Mandibuzz. And then, it goes on and on and on. You kind of trickle it down, okay, if these two Pokemon are dedicated towards this type of support, then another Pokemon might be more offensively geared, etc. So, because of that, I'm going to try and map you guys out what I think at each and every team preview. And we're going to start with this game between Savoras and Kebab MLML. So, I guess we'll go in order. The first team we're looking at is Savoras' team. It's going to be a Sun team from Team Greece. Now, I've actually seen this team used in a lot of battles, specifically from Team Greece, but we're going to pretend like I don't really know it inside out, I guess you could say. So, let's just go through it. First off, the Pokemon are Cinderace, Torkoal, Venusaur, Magearna, Rillaboom, and Blissey. So, there are some obvious things right off the bat. There are only 2 viable Stealth Rock setters on this team, Torkoal and Blissey. And Torkoal oftentimes is not strapped for move slots. Normally it's running Stealth Rock, Lava Plume, Rapid Spin, and either Toxic or Rest. Could run Yawn as well, I suppose. Or over Toxic, so yeah. Now, if you think about it, I'm thinking that 99% of the time, this Torkoal is going to be, the Stealth Rock variant. And the Blissey, the main point of using Blissey over Chansey and Blissey on these teams in general is to use Heavy Duty Boost plus Teleport. So right off the bat, I can map out the fact that the Torkoal is going to be the Stealth Rock setter, probably a physically defensive variant, and the Blissey is going to be a Teleporter. Because think about it, it would be Chansey if it wasn't being used for Teleport, and you wouldn't use either of those in this team since it's a really offensive team, so you really want to use it for the pivoting. So it's probably going to be Seismic Toss, Soft Boiled, Teleport, and either Sunny Day, Toxic, or Thunder Wave. So yeah, those 2 sets are right off the bat obvious. Next off, we have Venusaur. Well, on Sun teams, Venusaur is always using Chlorophyll with Life Orb, almost always anyway. And you tend to want to see growth with the Grass plus Poison plus Fire covered with Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Weather Ball. I've seen Earth Power once or twice, gives you some nice mid-ground damage, does a lot to Dragapult. And can take out Toxic at +2. Of course, Solar Beam can do the same as well, so Really just got to be smart. But yeah, something in that vicinity is what we're expecting. Now, something important is, while you do like pinpointing sets, sometimes saying, okay, he could potentially have one less common movement on any certain Pokemon is good. Sometimes scouting for those things, if they don't give you a reason not to, can help you. So sometimes being more conservative in what you're kind of saying, okay, this is a lock on their sets, is fine. In other matchups where you're a bit more hard-pressed against their teams, it might be a bit less, say, secure to do so. So you really have to gauge what you think your chances of are winning and what you're okay with risking and not risking. That's something that goes more into gameplay than it does team preview theory, however, though. So keep that in mind anyway. Anyway, next up we have Cinderace. Now, on Sun teams, Cinderace can be a bit more likely to run a Choice Band, and I could even see a Choice Scarf set I ran into a couple times on the ladder, so we're actually going to go ahead and just say we don't know what the Cinderace set is, but it's almost definitely going to be a bulk up, not a bulk up variant, but a U-turn variant. Yeah. Sorry, I just have a little phlegm in my throat. Slept on the wrong side of the bed last night. I just haven't felt 100%, but gotta take some water there. But anyway, now we have 2 Pokemon left, and we have a great idea of what 3 of the 4 are. And the 4th one, we know, regardless, counterplay is going to overlap. We want to have a good fire resist for it. And if you look at Kebab's team, there is no good fire resist, which is really scary. But that aside, we'll get to that in a moment. Alright, so normally on, like, say, balancing both the offensive teams, I'd expect Magearna, but with the Rillaboom partner, I'm expecting it to be kind of like a setup variant, perhaps even with Grassy Seed, if only because A, Cinderace plus Chlorophyll plus Grassy Glide gives you ample speed control, so Scarf is definitely not needed, and B, in Sun, Venusaur plus Cinderace provides enough breaking, so you kind of want to have a win condition that complements them, especially because Venusaur can, like, basically trade it with Chansey and Blissey, and alternatively speaking, you could break soften a lot of other special walls, and so on and so forth, and it can invalidate opposing speed control because +2 it outruns it. So, therefore, a setup Magearna with Grassy Seed, potentially even with Stored Power, would be really complementary in this team, and I think that would make the most sense. But I'm not going to rule out it being just a straight-up setup variant without Grassy Seed regardless, just not to be so reliant on it. But yeah, we're going to pinpoint it as a setup variant of Magearna with Grassy Seed, so therefore, you're going to want to keep the Excadrill healthy for that, basically, if you're on Kebab's side. And the last Pokemon is going to be a Rillaboom. It could be Choice Band, it could be Swords Dance, but I think no matter what, it's going to want U-Turn, just so it doesn't generate passive sequences to negate the progress of other Pokemon and let things like Mandibuzz and Corviknight heal up. So therefore, I'm thinking it might be Swords Dance U-Turn, it might be Choice Band U-Turn, but either way, it's going to have U-Turn on this set. Okay. Next up, we're going to go ahead and switch sides here. Yep, we're going to reset. Okay. Now, we're looking at Kebab MLML's team. His name is Leche con Azúcar, I guess? Yeah, okay. Anyway, so looking at his team, he has a Magearna in Urshifu. We don't know if it's water or dark yet. Clefable, Excadrill, Mandibuzz, and a Rillaboom. So both sides have Rillaboom. That's interesting. Both sides also have Magearna. That's cool. Alright, 2 solid Pokemon, no doubt. Anyway, looking at this team here, I'm thinking it's a pretty damn slow team. It could be a Scarf Magearna or Urshifu, but those aren't super likely, so I don't want to pin either of those in. We know right off the bat it's going to have to be a strong Grassy Glide variant than Rillaboom, so I expect it to be Choice Band or Life Orb right off the bat, just to maximize the damage output of Grassy Glide against things like, say, Alakazam, Excadrill, things that you want to revenge. So yeah, that's important. Now, there are 2 Stealth Rockers on the team for Leche con Azúcar or Kebab MLML, and that is Clefable and the Excadrill. Now, I'm honestly not sure which one it is at this point. I'm not ready to determine that. I'm going to say that it's a bit more likely to be the Excadrill, just because looking at this team, I'm not sure, honestly. Damn, I'm really not sure. Well, okay. One strategy to use if we're struggling as to what it might be is going through the other Pokemon on the team. So let's start off with the Magearna. What do we think the Magearna is? I'll give you guys a second to think because I'm also thinking too. Okay, so looking at this team, I think there are a couple options for Magearna. The first one of those could be the fact that it might just be a setup variant of Magearna with the Grassy Seed, so it's Rillaboom support. However, this doesn't have the same complements to it as the other teams that we've seen. For example, the prior team, the team that we just went over from Savoras, it has complementary special breakers, and because of that, we noticed that it's more easy for a late game potential sweep with the Magearna to happen, or the Magearna to open up for the late game sweep from the Venusaur and Sun. So because of that, we have to be really, really careful and trying to pinpoint the set. I'm still inclined to believe that it's going to be kind of like a shift gear special set, maybe with Grassy Seed, or maybe just with like Akaberry. I'm not sure yet, honestly. But regardless of that, I'm thinking that it's not choice in this team. I'm thinking that it's not choice. In addition to that, the more and more I think about it, one important element of Magearna's setup sets is they pair really nicely with other fairy types like Trick Clefable. And now I'm willing to say at this point that it's probably going to be Stealth Rock Clefable because A, this team isn't really in much need of wish support. It plays like a bulky offensive team. Rillaboom gives grassy terrain, and you really just want to kill them before they kill you. You're not going to be laying around for a whole time. You don't have any regenerator Pokemon. Your Mandibuzz is the only really Pokemon with true natural recovery. So yeah, I think it's probably going to be like Swords Dance Drill, maybe Swords Dance plus Toxic Drill, and probably Stealth Rock and Trick. And I want to say, it's going to be Choice Scarf, but it could be Sticky Barb. It could be Sticky. I think it's going to be Trick plus Choice Scarf because making it so that counters to fairy types, like common steel types, are locked into a certain move is much more abusable by Magearna than Sticky Barb. But again, both are viable options. As for Shifu, I'm going to say it's probably going to be Dark because it's better. But I mean, it is Italy, so I'm not going to put it past them using the water one just because they tend to use more unconventional stuff. But if I put money on Be Dark, I'm not sure. It's not going to be Scarf. I really, really don't think it's going to be Scarf. I think it's going to be banded with a priority move or bulk up Sucker Punch. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I think that their main form of speed controlling is going to be priority. But yeah, and then last it has to be Defog on the Mandibuzz, and it has to probably use Foul Play as well because using the priority Pokemon as the main wins of Conventional Drill as a great action out of a defensive check to it as well. Okay. So just to go over the sets on both teams that I'm predicting given the team preview. We're going to say it's going to be a setup variant of Magearna. We're not going to limit it down, but I definitely know it's going to be a bit more on the offensive end just because as we went through, the whole team's been more offensive. I'm going to think it's Urshifu Dark, and it's going to have Sucker Punch, but we might not see it revealed in this game. I'll have to wait and see, but yeah, that's something I'm going to hypothesize here, but it could be Water just because, we don't know. But I'm thinking it's Stealth Rock, Trick Clef with a Choice Scarf, Sticky Bar being the second most likely option. Okay. Excadrill, we're thinking it's going to be not Stealth Rocks, but rather a Swords Dance variant, definitely with Toxic. It has to have Toxic because that helps synergize a ton with Rillaboom. Yeah. Mandibuzz, we're just going to think Defog. Yeah. And Rillaboom, again, Choice Band or Life Orb. As for the Savoras team, we're going to assume it's going to be a really just a non-bulk up Cinderace, be it Boots or more likely not Choice Band. Torkoal, Stealth Rock, physically offensive. Life Orb, Growth, 3 attacks, Venusaur. Grassy Seed, set up Magearna. Probably a U-turn, Rillaboom, be it Bandit or Swords Dance U-turn, we're unsure. And just a top up Blissey. Alright, so now we're not going to go over the game. I don't have time to go over 5 games. We just spent 13 minutes on a team preview. So we're going to go ahead, turn 9-9. Hopefully it's not a 100-turn game. Okay. Now let's go over the sets. It looks like Kabab won, so congratulations to him. And yeah, it is a setup variant of Magearna. Alright, we can see that here, so that's good. But it wasn't Grassy Seed, it was leftovers. So we got that Molster right, but not entirely. Okay, let's go through the other Pokemon. Now, close combat. Okay. We can't tell the Urshifu's at here. Hold up. Let me, okay, let's go back in the game real quick. We could do that to find out what Urshifu it is. It's actually, okay, it's Rapid Strike. Okay. So, we were wrong on the Urshifu type, but it didn't really make a big difference in the game. But that's interesting, using Water Urshifu. I guess he didn't have another Water type, so that's cool. It gave him the Fire Resist he needed, but honestly, it's still not a check to Cinderace, so I'm kind of surprised he won this game, honestly. We'll have to get into that more later, but yeah, it was Trick Clef. What did it trick? It required Heat Rock, so what does it? Sticky Barb, okay. So we got the fact that it was Stealth Rock and Trick right, which is really cool because it's like a specific Clef set. It has like a half dozen sets, but we did get the item wrong, but still the same premise. It's setting up for the Magearna, so that's a really good piece of synergy there. It is Toxic on the Drill. Alright, so, and seeing as this is almost definitely going to be Defog, yeah, I mean, I highly doubt it wasn't Defog and Mandibuzz, so we probably got these two sets right, and it was Life Orb on the Rillaboom. Okay, so yeah, Life Orb and Choice Band. So yeah, as you see, we kind of use process of elimination and just team building logic to kind of string that team together, and we mostly got it right. And the thing is that our Shifu counterplay doesn't matter as much until it's brought in, and then we'd see that it was the Water one. So overall, if we went into the game with that knowledge of the team, we could have handled it to the optimal fashion. We could have made the most out of Team Preview. Now, again, let's switch sides here. So now we're looking at the Zavoras team. We don't know what Cinderace said it is. It used Pyro Ball once. Let me scroll up here. When's the last time it came in? Well, diggity damn, it's taking a minute here. On turn 19, all the way about halfway through the battle, the Cinderace not only took Stealth Rock, but actually died to Stealth Rock damage. So it was probably, since it didn't take Life Orb, probably was a choice Pokemon after all. So yeah, choice band Cinderace is what I'm thinking. It was a Yawn Torkoal, but it didn't reveal Rocks in the Blissey, so I'm thinking it was going to be Rocks, and he just never got around to using it, which would make sense considering how offensive this game is. But yeah, so I'm also right in the Torkoal there. Weather Ball, Life Orb, Venusaur, right? Again, what we expected. It was Swords Dance, U-Turn, Rillaboom, so that was a really good catch because that's not the most common step, but definitely don't tunnel in on choice Rillaboom always. I think Swords Dance, U-Turn is really good too. So yeah, that's something worth noting there as well. It was the Grassy Seed Magearna, that's good. And, so it was probably just like a Pivot Blissey, but instead of being the normal set with Heavy Duty Boost, it was actually a Eject Button. That's a cool tech. Okay. I give them credit for that. It's definitely something I didn't consider, but I don't know if it really altered how you play much because you're going to be attacking the Blissey anyway. In fact, if I recall this game correctly, Eject Button didn't really help him a ton because he wanted to go to Blissey on a special attacker anyway, and he just did bring it in after taking more damage later. So that's worth noting, but yeah. First game here, and I'd say we probably got 10 sets right, and we didn't make any kind of assumptions that would have ended up hurting us a ton. So it's just kind of like conservative picking apart of teams that we really want to try and condense in, let's say, 60 to 90 seconds. Normally I pick my lead, and then I start thinking as my opponent's taking time with their lead. So that's just something worth noting. But yeah, thought processes like that go a long way. And if you guys have any sample games of team previews that you want me to analyze in the comments, help you guys out, or on Discord, let me know and either shoot me a message in the comments or feel free to message me on Discord or in the Finchinator YouTube channel Discord server, guys. We just hit 600 people, and I'd love for more people to join, so the link will be in the description below. But anyway, since we don't want this to be an hour-long video, we're going to go a bit quicker through the remainder of the game. So this is a game between Riku and Eevee, two friends of mine. Riku is a longtime Spanish player, really solid player, very creative. On the flip side, though, he's the one that used the Trick Room team. This is not very creative for him, but he also used the Misty Explosion Trick Room team. If you don't know what I'm referring to, check out the battle on my channel from a couple weeks back. But anyway, Eevee is another friend of mine. She is the RU tier leader, or co-tier leader, and also just a really strong player all around. But anyway, let's go through Riku's team first, just because it's on the right side. So, right off the bat, you can tell it has to be Stealth Rock Hippowdon, and it's probably going to be a Combine Clefable, just because Hydreigon might be Roost, Corviknight's Roost for sure, Hippowdon Slack Off, the Toxic's Recover, so you don't really need Wish on this team. In addition to that, I'm thinking it's probably going to be Combine plus Flamethrower, just because Nasty Plot Hydreigon and Swords Dance Excadrill, which are almost definitely going to come, as we'll get to later, can both do really well against Toxpex, so affording being walled by Pex is great, is okay on that. Yes, I think it's Combine Life Orb Flamethrower, or Combine Leftovers Flamethrower, Clefable, Stealth Rock, Physically Defensive, Hippowdon. Corviknight is going to be Defog with probably his Body Press, but I'm not going to say 100% because you do have Hippowdon for Drill, but it's definitely going to be Defog Roost. And you just got to be safe around Brave Bird, Body Press, U-Turn, Iron Head. Iron Head seems really unlikely, though, with X-Drill plus Pex. Yeah, probably not Iron Head. That's worth noting. Yeah. It could be a bit more specially defensive with the physically defensive Hippowdon, but we're not going to assume the spread regardless. Drill, it's almost definitely going to be Swords Dance with Rock Slide or Toxic, so Earthquake, Iron Head, Swords Dance, and then Rock Slide or Toxic last with Sand Rush. Hydreigon is just going to be Nasty Blunt Life Orb. It's just a matter of if it's Flash Cannon, Flamethrower, Roost, pick 2 out of 3. It can be Flash Flame, it can be Flash Roost, it can be Flame Roost, but it has to have Nasty Blunt Drago with Life Orb as others. So yeah, I guess Wise Glasses is viable as well, something that's been pretty cool lately. But anyway, that's worth noting. And the next two Pokemon, again, we're thinking it's going to be Combine, Flamethrower, Clefable, be it Life Orb or Leftovers, we don't know. And it's probably not Baneful Bunker or Toxic Spikes on the Pex. It's definitely going to be Haze, Recover, Scald, and then Toxic or Knockoff is what I'm thinking. And, I mean, it's Toxic Spikes, but I just don't think it has a reason to run Baneful Bunker because Hippowdon covers things like Zera, Aura, and Cinderace, which that takes advantage of. So, yeah. Okay. And it's probably going to be Black Sludge over Rocky Helmet because taking sand damage each turn really sucks on sand teams with packs. So, yeah. Okay, now we're going to play, and then we're going to switch sides here. Yep. Now we're on the Eevee side, and we're going to try and predict her team as well here. So looking at it, it's Rillaboom, Magnezone, Rhyperior, which is probably the Stealth Rocker, Weavile, Clefable, and the Mandibuzz. Now, right off the bat, the first thing that stands out to me is if it's got a Rhyperior, it's 99% of the time going to be Stealth Rock Rhyperior. So we know it's Stealth Rock there, and that frees up the Clefable. Now, I'm personally thinking it's going to be Wish plus Teleport Clefable into a more offensive core with Magnezone plus Rillaboom plus Weavile. I don't think Combine Flamethrower fits here either, as you really don't want to let up the pressure against packs. It could be Combined with an electric move, but I don't really love how that's kind of hard-walled by Drill, forcing in your Rillaboom and the Mandibuzz, but that might be exacerbated by this matchup. But again, I'm thinking Teleport makes the most sense. So Wishport, yeah, I'm thinking Wishport Clef, probably a bit more special defensive. Actually not, it needs physical defense for a Shifu. So it's probably special defensive on the Mandibuzz with foul play for Drill still. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's Defog on the Mandibuzz, Stealth Rock on the Drill, probably Wishport on the Clef, but don't necessarily let go of all your counterplay to Combine Clef immediately until you're sure. Definitely see what item it is. Be scared of trick sets as well. So yeah, you don't really need to feel like super pressured by Clef in the immediate early game, in a sense, because it's not going to pack a punch unless it's like Life Orb Modest, and Modest Life Orb isn't very common. And on this team, you'll have your own Clef and pack, so you can scout around for that. So because of that, just play conservatively against Clef early game, just because it's one of the more versatile Pokemon, and you can afford to do so. It's not super threatening like other versatile Pokemon such as Cinderace and Hydreigon, so therefore you kind of are afforded that ability. As for Weavile, I'm thinking with Magnezone support, it's more likely going to be Swords Dance with Heavy Duty Boots or Life Orb than Choice Banded, especially because Choice Banded isn't as effective with Pursuit not being in the game. So thinking of Swords Dance in the Weavile, and then either Swords Dance U-Turn or Choice Band on the Rillaboom for the same reason as before. Again, keeping up momentum. You really want to get the U-Turn on things like Mandibuzz to get in the Weavile, or Corviknight to get in the Magnezone. So yeah, in the Magnezone, I think it's going to be like some sort of spec set, honestly. Maybe even Scarf, although I don't really think you need that with the Grassy Glide plus Weavile core. So yeah, I don't think you need speed control there. So I think it's specs, honestly, because you don't really need to trap Ferrothorn a ton. You can just kind of knock it out slowly with this team, and also repeated spec sets can do a number to it. And with Teleport Clefable to absorb Leech Seed and then help heal everything up against it, it kind of abuses it really nicely. That's an understated facet of Wishport Clef. But yeah, so I'm thinking it's going to be like Volt Switch and either Tri Attack for. Actually, it's probably not Analytics. Yeah, I don't run Tri Attack. It's probably like Steel Beam, Flash Cannon, Thunderbolt. Yeah, okay. So with specs. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Some things that are worth noting is it could potentially be an Acrobatics Grassy Seed variant of the Rillaboom, but I'm not willing to say it's most likely just because A, this team as Weavile would take advantage of the grass types, and B, I don't think that's like the most mainstream set, so yeah, I think it's probably just a U-turn variant. But anyway, let's get to the head and see. You don't think this came on 100 turn? No, it didn't. Okay. First up, my boy Riku won, so we're going to go on his side first. Let's look at the stats on his team. Alright, so yeah, what's Stealth Rock, Physical Defensive, Drill? That's good. Well, I mean, assume it's Physical Defensive. And U-turn Roost, alright, but you never needed to defog, so yeah. Oh! Well, okay. It was Rapid Spin Drill without Iron Head. That means it must be Flash Cannon, right? Yeah, okay. So, we got the Swords Dance part of Drill right, but he also ran Rapid Spin. Now, it could have been double removal because Ferrothorn, again, really you need the... Is it Wish Clef? It's... Oh, wow. Okay, so we got the Clef set wrong, too. But, seeing as we would have just went to... you know, the more conservative Pokemon like our own Clef or Magnezone, it didn't really punish us a ton anyway. And again, I said be open against Clef, but yeah, we definitely got that set wrong, but the fact that it wasn't Wish actually would help Evigaro's side a bit more just because the lack of longevity for things like Hydreigon and Excadrill. As you see, they both ended up dead, but they probably helped pave progress regardless. So yeah, Riku probably plays this one well. And yeah, it wasn't Baneful Bunker Peck or anything like that. It was Toxic Case. Okay. So... and yeah, Nasty Plot, Life, Roost, Hydreigon, we got that. Yeah, so at the end of the day, we got 5 sets right, but we got a move wrong on the drill in one of those sets that was right. So we knew it was Swords Dance and it was Sand Rush, but unfortunately it was not of the Iron Head variety, which again, you can't really expect that because Iron Head's super common on drill. But again, it's just sort of safe assumptions because like if you scout for Swords Dance drill, like if you play around Swords Dance drill, you're going to play around it regardless if it's Iron Head or Rock Slide because requires the same counterplay, pretty much revenge killing with the Rillaboom, or potentially luring in with the Magnezone, getting huge damage off. So, yeah. Actually, wait. I said Evigaro's Clefable was Teleport because of the offensive team, not Riku's. I actually thought it was Combined on this team. Okay, so I still got the set wrong. My bad there. but I got it wrong in the wrong way. No, yeah. So, okay. Let me clear this up because I'm sure I just lost half of you here. I said Evigaro's Clef was Combine and Riku's was going to be... No, sorry, I said Riku's Clef was going to be Combine to fit on this team and he didn't need Wish support. And I said Evigaro's was going to be Teleport because she needed the Teleport support and the pivoting. So, therefore, I was wrong on Riku's Clef set, indeed. But I mischaracterized how I was wrong. But yeah, I was wrong. So I got 5 out of 6 sets, but I mischaracterized the drill's moves. But to be fair, predicting on Ironhead, I mean, again, you're going to play around in the same way, so it did make a practical difference. But yeah, again, these are the kind of safe assumptions you want to make. All right, now let's look at Evigaro's team finally, before I confuse you guys anymore. So it wasn't Wishport Clef. Wow. So I got both Clefable sets wrong. And I'm really surprised this team has no teleport. That shocks me. Surely it's U-turn on Mandibles. We'll never be revealed. Okay, it was Swords Dance Weavile. Damn, it was... okay. Maybe it was, okay, so it was Specs Magnezone, it was Rock Superior, but it was actually a Swords Dance Superpower Rillaboom, so that's an interesting creative set. Alright, so that's cool. So we got 4 out of 6 sets right here, but we don't really have any way of expecting this Rillaboom set. We never really see Swords Dance Superpower Rillaboom, so it's a good bring by Evigaro there. Overall, you're going Corviknight against it anyway, and it's not able to break you up +2, so yeah. Don't think that makes any practical difference, and the fact that it's not Wishport means that you actually are able to take down the team quicker than otherwise, so that helps Riku again. So I don't really think it made a practical difference, but definitely some interesting picks here. That's a really cool Rillaboom set. I might have actually used that in a live. I'm making a note on my phone right now. Hold the phone, yes. Let's use Superpower Rillaboom. Okay, it's like number 8 on my queue of things. Queue. Oh god, don't murder me in the comments for mispronouncing that, please. Of things to use in the future on the ladder. But anyway, yeah, so that's interesting. We went through that team preview. Now, before we hit 1,000,000 minutes in this video, let's go over another one. This is Lax against CBU. Alright, right off the bat, CBU's team's weird. Real weird. Talonflame, Urshifu, Jirachi, Amoonguss, Magearna. Yo, you know what? There's no way this is Scarf Urshifu. Scarf Urshifu is so bad. Okay. It's Scarf Rocks Jirachi. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's Scarf Rocks Jirachi from CBU. Beyond that, I'm thinking it's just Choice Band on the Urshifu because Breaker. And that plus Life Orb, Nasty Cloud, Dragon forms like a dual Dark Breaker core. Yeah, okay. Just Pivot, Spore, Rocky Helmet, or Black Sludge on Amoonguss. Talonflame is probably just like a Roost set with either Bulk Up or Swords Dance or Taunt. Yeah, Bulk Up / Swords Dance / Taunt with Brave Bird / Dual Wingbat, Roost, and then a status move. Yeah, okay. So it's Mono Flying, Bulk Gear set, probably Bulk Up or Taunt, honestly. Yeah, okay, with the status move. Makes sense, yeah. I'm going to say Specs Magearna, but I'm probably going to regret this. It's CBU, so he's probably using something weird. I'm saying Specs because that makes the most sense to me. Now let me explain why. Specs Magearna generates momentum for the aforementioned dark types such as Urshifu and Hydreigon. Hydreigon and Urshifu both able to apply pressure to fairy types and eventually break through for each other, as well as the fact that the 2 other steel types, coupled with the fact that we have 2 other fairy resists in the Talonflame and Amoonguss, really just beat all the fairy types. So that means that the team complements each other really nicely offensively. However, there are some defensive flaws. I don't understand how this team deals with Cinderace, honestly, just full disclosure. So maybe it's like some weird physically defensive version of Talonflame with like Wisp for the I don't know. Probably Flame Body, honestly. But this is weird. Yeah, I really don't know what to make of that Talonflame. But we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, yeah, Choice Banded on the Urshifu, Nasty Spot Life Orb on the Hydreigon, Trick Scarf with Stealth Rocks on Jirachi. It's my bold prediction of the day. We got a Spore, Amoonguss, and probably a Specs Magearna. Now, let's go ahead and play, but skip sides before we see anything else. Okay, yep. Now, let's look at Lax's team. Okay, so Lax is going to be a Stealth Rock Clefable. Oh, his whole team, sorry. Cinderace, Hydreigon, Slowbro, Clefable, Scizor, interesting, and Rotom Heat. So, right off the bat, it has to be Stealth Rock Clef because it's only Stealth Rocker, and looking at the team, things that Stealth Rock Clef lures in, like Toxapex, Magearna, Amoonguss, Rotom Heat, Magearna. I think it might be Trick plus Sticky Barb on this. Yeah, because the team loves crippling them for Hydreigon. Okay. I'm also thinking he's going Scarfless / like Hard Revenge colorless with Probably a Sucker Punch variant of the Cinderace on this team. Could just be 4A though, it's definitely Boots. Nasty Plot Life Orb by Dragon, just because it's the best set, and again, the aforementioned synergy with Clefable, but also the fact that it plus Cinderace forms a really nice offensive core in my eyes, with Teleport Slowbro on the defensive end. And also Scizor, probably just like a bulky set with U-Turn. I'm thinking maybe especially defensive or bulky band. Bullet Punch U-Turn for sure. If it's bulky, it's going to be like Roost Swords Dance. If it's Choice Band, then it's probably going to be like Superpower plus Knockoff / Quick Attack. Yeah, okay, and Rotom Heat. Probably just Defog, honestly. It could be Scarf Fog Hydreigon, I guess, but I don't really love that. So I think it's Defog Rotom Heat. If it's Nasty Plot or Toxic, Volt Switch or Discharge, I'm not too sure yet. Scizor's a weird pick. It kind of throws a wrench. It could be Defog Scizor, I guess, but I'm not willing to go out on a limb and say that just because we don't see much Scizor, so I'd say we just play conservatively against the Scizor if we were on CBU's side, yeah, but definitely safe to be safe against Life Orb Hydreigon and any combination of attacks on that Cinderace. So yeah, those were our hypotheses there. Let's go ahead and skip to turn 99. Hopefully it's not a 100-turn game. Nope. Alright, so right off the bat, our Nasty Plot Hydreigon theories are confirmed. And since Locks won, let's go through his team first. It is not necessarily Sucker Punch and the Cinderace. We'll never know. Gunk Shot, High Jump Kick, Pyro Ball. Interesting to see High Jump Kick. We don't see that very much anymore, but alright. So because of that, I'm thinking it's Future Sight Bro. Oh, well, the Bro didn't die, but if it's not Zen Headbutt, then it had to be Future Sight Bro, surely, for pack. So we'll never know, though. It was Stealth Rock with Trick. Okay, what did it trick? It tricked, Leftovers? And what else got tricked? Sticky Barb, see? See, it was Sticky. Okay, so it was Sticky Barb after all. Alright, so we got that set right. We got the Hydreigon right. We got the gist of the Cinderace right, but we don't know the full move. Slowbro will never know. Scizor, U-Turn, Scarf Trick, Leftovers? Okay, so the Magearna turned out to be Scarf here, not Spec. So we know we got a set wrong in CBU's team, but yeah, this was probably a bulky Scizor, so we got that right, and it was Defog Rotom. So we actually got Lax's at least 5 out of 5, if not full 6 sets right. It really depends on what the last move on the Cinderace was. But we kind of set to be ready for all the possibilities, so yeah, I'm going to pat myself on the back for this one. Yeah, I'm actually doing that during the video because I'm a spaz. That's the thing that just happened. Oh, God. Well, anyway, let's go into CBU's team. We already know we're over 1. He's at Magearna is Trick Scarf. Alright, we don't know about the Talonflame. It was Darker Shifu. Hopefully with Choice Band. Let's go back and see, actually. I'm kind of curious now. Did 37 with Wicked Blow, and that's physically defensive, so yeah, okay. No. So yeah, okay. So we're going to say it's Choice Banded. Yeah, Nasty Plot Life Orb again, so we got that. Stealth Rock, Trick Scarf. Trick the Scarf on a Scizor, okay. So we got that set right, so our risky pick of the day is indeed correct. And among us, it was Akaberry with Foul Play. Well, I said he was weak to Cinderace. There you go, that's just Tech Y. We knew it was going to be like physically defensive with Spore, but we did get the item wrong, so I'm going to say we ended up with 4 and like a third, 4 and a quarter out of 6, right, on this team. Yeah, it's hard. We got the Magearna wrong. We knew it was Choice, but we got the wrong choice on it. The Scarf, not Specs, and also the Akaberry. I don't know if anyone was going to get that, but I definitely didn't, so cool stuff by CPU there. I assume that's what paralyzed the Cinderace, so that was actually a nice tech. But yeah, unfortunately for CBU, Lax did emerge victorious. And really cool team by him. We actually got all 6 right, so I guess we're doing something right. Anyway, next battle here, a bit more of an interesting team preview between TDK and Sharo. TDK is on Team South, I believe, yeah, and Sharo is on Team France. Okay. TDK's team looks a tad less chaotic, so we're going to go ahead and go for it first, especially since it's on our side. What I really like about TDK's team is it's making use of the Tangrowth, which can come in on either of Urshifu's stabs, and then even if it takes over half from Adamant Choice Band or High Roll from Jolly Choice Band, it can A, direct Yellow damage, and B, you could scout out what move it lock into, and then go into your Pex on the close combat, or Mandible / Magearna / Como-O on the Wicked Blow, and you're only taking 15-20% net on your Tangrowth. That is actually a really nice core against Urshifu, and he is facing an Urshifu, so I really like this build by TDK. The only issue is it's got no electric immune. But with maybe especially defensive packs, he might be okay against Specs Magearna anyway, so we'll have to wait and see. And by that, I mean we're not going to wait and see because he's not facing Magearna, so I don't know why I'm probably going in the tangent. But anyway, see, I'm thinking it's physically defensive. Tangrowth, and maybe a bit more especially defensive on the Talk specs, but regardless, it's just standard move-wise, nothing really special there. Stealth Rock, definitely in the combo, yeah, with Body Press. Last move gives a lot of status between Tangrowth, potentially Toxic on the Mana Buzz, and definitely Scald on the Pex, if not also Toxic plus Toxic Spikes. Probably not Baneful Bunker on this because he's got Dragapult plus Como plus Toxic plus Mana Buzz for Cinderace, so yeah. And he's got Zero or double. So there's no way it's Baneful Bunker into Pex. Yeah, okay. So thinking it's going to be Stealth Rock plus Taunt on the Dragapult, but I wouldn't put it past TDK to use Dragon Tail for... So, actually, no, this was July 2nd. This is before the Sun Craze. So yeah, this is just Stealth Rock Taunt. I'm going to say Specs Magearna and Specs Dragapult because they break for each other really nicely, and look at all the status between Pex and Tangrowth and potentially even Mandibuzz on this team. See, I think Specs Dragapult Sandalwood was a cleaner on TDK's team, and Specs Magearna as the breaker, but I wouldn't put it past TDK to make the sub CM Magearna either. So I'd say playing, keep it open, but expect Specs is more immediately dangerous and has the option of Trick. So yeah. Okay, so dual Specs at the end. Stealth Rock Taunt on the Como-O. A bit more especially defensive oriented Toxic Specs, but it's not Baneful Bunker or Toxic Spikes. It's Scald, Recover, Haze, and either Knockoff or Toxic. Yeah. Okay. Mandibuzz is definitely defog, and I'm not going to say it's 100% foul play. It could be knockoff, but if the Pex or Tangrowth are knockoff, it's probably more likely to be foul play. And I don't know if U-turn's banned around either. We just know it's defog, and it's going to be slower because you don't really need to cover Bisharp, and I don't really see much Aegislash right now. So yeah, why not? Tangrowth, just physically defensive Rocky Helmet. Yeah, okay. So I think that's a safe bet. I think TDK's team is pretty easy to read, but it's also really, I like this team. It's just the only thing that you miss is Electric Command. Anyway, Sharrow's team here, a bit more chaotic. Oh boy. Well, it's probably going to be like, since it's so offensive, it might be Stealth Rock Ferrothorn, but it might just be dual hazards as well. But I definitely going to pencil Stealth Rock in on that. It's got to be Specs Flip Turn Kingra. That's the main reason of using it right now. As for the Rillaboom, again, I'm thinking it's U-turn. It's just a matter of Swords Dance U-turn or Choice Band U-turn because you don't want to let in Corviknight and Mandibuzz to potentially negate the progress of Ferrothorn, slow momentum, waste turns of rain, etc. Yeah, it's probably going to be the Water type Urshifu because otherwise, you know, it's the only time to use it is rain basically. So yeah, why not? As for Zeraora, it's definitely Volt Switch. I'm not sure though. Physical or special? Because I've seen special ones with Thunder on Rain and the ladder once or twice. It's like I think we even faced a team with like 5 out of 6 of these Pokemon. I wonder if it was Shadow. Well, either way, I don't know who it was, but it was a solid team. But that was actually after this game, so you know what? Never mind. It probably wasn't Shadow. It was within the last 28 days. Because I'm recording this on the morning of the 30th, and right now this game took place on July 2nd. So yeah, I'm thinking it might be special, might be physical. I'm gonna lean special because why not? It also like special breaks for Urshifu and Rillaboom really nicely. Yeah, okay. Pelipper. I'm thinking Damp Rock Defog, but I wouldn't put it past Shadow Run specs. But we're gonna say Damp Rock Defog. Okay, now let's go ahead and skip to turn 99. Okay, so TDK1. We're gonna go ahead and skip to switch to his side first. Yeah. So it was Hex Shadow Ball. So it was Specs Pult, all right, and Magearna. So they're kind of an Aura Sphere. I just want to make sure it's Specs not Scarf. I mean, Aura Sphere. That is Specs is Claw Hell. Okay, so we're 2 for 2 there. Mandibuzz. Oh wow, it did reveal Taunt. Okay, that's cool. So last move had to be Earthquake, but yeah. Rocky Helmet Tangrowth. Didn't see anything on the Mandibuzz. Toxic. Okay, so yeah, we got 6 out of 6 here, or at least 5 out of 5. We don't know Mandibuzz, but it surely was Defog. I mean, what else could it possibly be? So I'm feeling great here, but Shadow's team was a bit more chaotic, so it's harder to read. So let's see if we got that right. Well, okay, let's see what the Urshifu was after all. Because it only used close combat. Come on, get in that damn Urshifu. Wait, what is the combo? Okay, so it is special. Okay, wait, that's cool. Anyway, come on. It is the water one. Okay, cool, dope. So that's the main point of using it in the rain anyway. So, we don't know what the Pelipper is. We'll get to that in a minute. It is Specs on the Kingdra. That's 1 out of 1. We don't know the Ferrothorn, but it did use Spikes. I mean, we're going to assume it also was Rocks, because nothing else looks Rocks. So 2 out of 2. It was Special Zeraora. It was Combine, but Combine Volt Switch is a set. So we're going to say at least 2.5 out of 2.5. More information needed. Again, this is the Water one, 3.5 out of 3.5. And it was U-turn, so 4.5 out of 4.5. Let's see what the Pelipper was. Was it defensive or offensive? We could see off calcs, maybe. Come on. It took 17 from body press, and it's U-turning. Okay. That is very much defensive. So yeah, we actually got both teams right here pretty much. Might not have been a vault switch, but we at least got the gist of it. So this was really good. Again, you could use this like knowledge to your advantage in the games and how you play them out. I'm sure GDK, for example, did something similar at Team Preview. Pretty much the main turn, his timer went down. It went down like 30 to 60 seconds, and the rest of the game was pretty much played at Godspeed by both players, honestly. But yeah, you think out their sets, and then you just go forward and proceed with that knowledge. It also means you're taking less time throughout the game, trying to figure that out yourself, not playing from behind. So I just think that's one of the major pros of thinking things through at Team Preview. But anyway, we have one more battle between my boy Tony Flygon and my friend Serene Grace. Tony's more known as a tournament director / moderator figure, even for his dabbling in UU over the Generations more recently. But he's also a really solid OU player over Generations, making Smackdown Classic and doing well in World Cup, not only last year, but also now starting again this year. Serene Grace is more of an LC main who had a really good showing in SPL, and now is trying to transition to OU for the sake of Team India in their first World Cup. Looking at the teams here, Tony used a team with the dual Fairy Core of Cinderace plus Zeraora with Clefable, Excadrill, Slowbro, and Hydreigon. Okay, right off the bat, you know it has to be Rapid Spin on the Excadrill, so therefore it's Stealth Rock on the Clef. Okay. So, okay, I think I know this whole 6. It's going to be the Gunk Shot, Pyro Ball, then Headbutt, U-Turn on the Cinderace, just because that makes the most sense. It's pivoting the team like keeping up momentum between that and Teleport, Slowbro, and potentially Volt Switch Zeraora. All of that to help get in things like Clefable to Stealth Rock or Excadrill to Spin, or more likely Hydreigon to break with Nasty Plot Life Orb. So yeah, it's the 4-attack pivot coming Cinderace. It's Zeraora with Volt Switch. I'm thinking it more likely not going to be physical here as well with Plasma Fist, Knockoff, and Close Combat / Toxic. Yup. Stealth Rock, Clef. I'm thinking it's going to be Trick with the Sticky Barb here, just because tricking things Choice Scarf, you don't really want to give things Scarf to Revenge Kill your Hydreigon and Cinderace potentially. So yeah, I think this is Trick Sticky Barb to help weaken them for your breakers. Drill is probably just going to be Rapid Spin plus Toxic with Dual Stab, because it A, gives you the removal, B, Toxic super nice here for Mandibuzz, opening the game up for not only the Cinderace, but also the Clefable to get up Stealth Rocks and special defensive variant, the Slowbro to whittle it out and then teleport on U-turns that are forced, and even the Hydreigon to break through if it's not Roost Hydreigon and you want to break through immediately. So yeah. And Slowbro is just standard teleport. I'm thinking Future Sight is more likely than Thunderwave here. Yeah, it's definitely Future Sight. It pairs so nicely with Zero or Cinderace because it shreds things like Baneful Pex, going for Baneful, or just Pex in general for Cinderace. Yep. And last, it's Nasty Plot Life Orb by Hydreigon, because you already have Speed Control on Zeraora and even Cinderace, and you really have all that momentum built up for Sunbreaker, and hint, Hydreigon with Life Orb and Nasty Plot is, in fact, quote-unquote, Sunbreaker. So yeah, I think Tony's team's pretty easy to figure out. I also think it's going to be boots on not only the Cinderace, but also the Zeraora and the Slowbro, because Toxic Spikes are a huge nuisance otherwise, and Drill isn't the most reliable Stealth Rock and Spikes remover, because it loses to things like Como-O, with Powdon, even Rhyperior, in terms of rockers, and Firethorn as potential spiker, as well as Skarmory. So yeah, I think that heavy duty boots galore here, and Rapid Spin Drills is kind of like a last ditch effort removing hazards when you don't really need to worry about them, because you got immunity, Stealth Rock, spike immunity, and boots Pokemon galore. Yeah, it's actually a really anti-hazard kind of core by Tony. Anyway, let's go ahead and switch sides here now. We got Serene Grace's team right off the bat. Again, Rhyperior, meaning it's the Stealth Rocker, Clefable, Mandibuzz, Dragapult, Mungus, and Cherim. So, Stealth Rock on the Rhyperior means it's either Utility with Wish or knockoff stuff, or Combine Clef. Looking at this team, it kind of struggles to break through Ferrothorn, and it would like some extra insurance, so I'm thinking it's Combine Life Orb or Leftovers Flamethrower Clefable again. Especially because Cherim with Freeze Dry takes advantage nicely of Clef. Yeah, so I think it's going to be either Specs or it's going to be some sort of special Kyurem. It's not going to be a physical one. I'm thinking Specs is most likely, though, because Freeze Dry just shreds packs with Specs. So yeah, Combined Life Orb Flamethrower on the Clef. Spore, Amoonguss, probably distract the helmet, but it could be Black Sludge. As for the Dragapult, I don't think it's Specs here, as you don't really have any status besides the Amoonguss. So Specs Hexus is great. In fact, I think it's going to be not Dragon. I think it's just going to be like a Hex variant. Yeah, Hex Pivot variant. Mandibuzz is probably defogged with definitely Foul Play for Drill. So yeah, okay. Those are the sets. Now let's see what we got right, what we got wrong, etc. Hopefully it's not a 100 turn, it's a 53 turn game. And our boy Tony won, so let's go ahead to my man, Tony first. Well, we don't know the full zero arts, and it never used the volt switch, but it was in fact the physical variant. All right, so we got that right at least partially. I'm thinking it's probably volt switch plus plasma for this last two moves, but yeah, Cinderace was the pivot set, so yeah, that's 2 for 2. Okay, it was Stealth Rock, and there was a trick involved, but it wasn't the one using it. It was actually Trick on. Wow, damn it. Okay, so we got both Clefable's at least partially wrong. So we got the Stealth Rock part right, but we didn't get the fact that it was Trick Right, so it was actually knockoff, which actually makes a lot of sense because they are always the only other knocker on this team. I figured it'd be fine going with one knocker, but yeah. So we're like 2.5 out of 3. It was Nasty Plot, Life Orb by Dragon. Scald, we don't know the last moves on Slowbro, so we're just gonna, it was Rapid Spin Toxic. So yeah, okay. At least we got the specific drill set right. It wasn't like the most super common moves on drill, so that's cool. But we get Clefable wrong, so we're gonna say we're like 5 out of 6 just because we don't know what last moves were on these. 5 to 5.5 out of 6, basically. Yeah, okay. We didn't Clefable entirely wrong, just we didn't get the trick part right with Knock. So it's a different way to displace items. So same ballpark, but yeah. No, we knew what Tony was thinking. We just didn't quite get his execution right, and that was a really good team by Tony in my eyes. So yeah, and just never really revealed it was Boots, but it's definitely Boots to do this song. Okay, great. Anyway, let's go ahead and switch sides now. Serene Grace's side. It was indeed Stealth Rock Rhyperior. Okay, great. And it was a Hex. Thunderwave. Hex Dragapult. All right, spell tag. Cool. Got that right as well. Yep. Defensive. Yeah. Rocky Helmet or Black Switch. Amoonguss. Okay. Subchurm. So we expected specs. I mean, we said it was Freeze Dry, but we kind of leaned on specs. So we'll say like that's half. Mandibuzz was Defog, and it was Trick Clef. It wasn't any Calm Mind or Flamethrower, especially. So yeah. I guess the idea was just to trick Ferrothorn instead. Alright, so I guess we'll say like 4.5 out of 6 there, 4.5 to 5. So yeah, the thing is that even if we got sets wrong, like our counterplay remains the same, so we just kind of play a little bit more conservatively in the early game around more versatile Pokemon like Clef, because we can afford to, because they don't directly pressure us. So yeah, I hope you guys got the gist of what I look into a team preview, and some more in-depth analysis of that, what to look into, what maybe not to look into as much, and how to use that information to your advantage. If you guys enjoyed this content, be sure to leave a like, and comment not only potential team previews you want me to look over for you, but also what your favorite parts of this video are, and what you personally look for at team preview yourselves. And finally, guys, if you'd like to join the Discord server, again, link will be down below. We're over 600 people, and it's amazing. It's very active, a lot of discussion of Pokemon, and just other chill stuff. And last but not least, also, guys, only 55 to 65% of you are subscribed, so every video, there's 500 to 1,000 people that are not subscribed, and currently we're sitting within that margin. We're at 4,600 roughly subscribers, so if y'all could come flooding in and subscribe, that'd be great. I'd love to hit 5,000 subscribers, guys. I'm going to announce a new project soon. Hint, hint, hint. The official ladder tournament's coming up. Hint, hint, hint. And some other stuff as well. More outside the box stuff even. So definitely stay tuned for that. And thank you guys so much for watching. And thanks to the World Cup for providing these replays that I use as examples. Anyway, have a great day, guys. Peace out. Bye.